You are watching The Story. Every Monday, we bring you a deep dive into the fascinating lives of incredible people. Oprah Winfrey, a true rags to riches story. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Subscribe to Alux.com. Hello, Aluxers, and welcome back. Oprah is a woman who needs no introduction. She's one of the most widely known figures worldwide, and she can't even remember the last time she met someone who didn't instantly recognize her. She became a millionaire at the age of 32 and a billionaire before the age of 50, but she's not so far removed from the struggles of her past that she's lost perspective. Today we're going to take a deep look at Oprah's past and talk about what she's overcome and how she got to her position of wealth and influence. It's a true rags to riches story that you won't want to miss. But let's start with some background. Who is Oprah Winfrey? Most people associate Oprah with her hugely successful talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which she hosted for 25 years. But she's a bit of a renaissance woman in the world of entertainment. She's an actor, director, producer, media executive, philanthropist, and mogul. She's earned the title of Queen of All Media and is considered by many to be the most influential woman in the world. The powerful impact she has when endorsing a product, a politician, an idea, and everything in between is known as the Oprah effect. She runs Harpo Productions and Oprah Winfrey Network and has also co-written 5 books and appeared in several films, the most recent being A Wrinkle in Time. In 2018, Apple and Oprah announced a multi-year partnership through which she will create, produce, and possibly act in a number of original programs. It's hard to imagine that someone who's achieved so much was once so poor, and she used to dress in potato sacks and didn't own a pair of shoes until she was 6. For that story, let's go back to the beginning. Beginnings. Oprah was born Oprah Gail Winfrey in Mississippi in 1954 to an unwed teen mother. The first several years of her life, she lived with her grandmother in Mississippi in a small house with no electricity or running water. Since there was no indoor plumbing, they had to use an outhouse in the backyard. Her grandmother taught her to read by the age of 3. When she entered into kindergarten, her first day she wrote a letter to her teacher telling her she did not belong there because she knew too many big words. She was moved up to the 1st grade the same day and later on skipped to the 2nd grade as well. When her grandmother became ill when Oprah was 6, she was sent to live with her mother in Wisconsin, and then several years later, finally found some stability living with her father and stepmother in Nashville. Oprah has talked openly about the sexual abuse she suffered as a child and teenager. She was raped for the first time at the age of 9 by a cousin and was abused by other family members as well. Despite these dark beginnings and challenges, Oprah began developing a powerful vision that would drive her forward. The vision. Oprah strongly believes that intentional thoughts have the power to shape your reality. She felt if she envisioned herself being successful and put those thoughts out into the universe, that she would be able to achieve her goals. Oprah encountered many challenges early on in her career. She was told she was too emotional or too empathetic, but what others saw as her weaknesses, she saw as her strengths. She set out to prove all of her doubters wrong and began to turn a small local talk show into a national sensation. However, this was only after suffering through a number of struggles that included thoughts of suicide. The struggle. When Oprah was 14, she became pregnant as a result of a sexual assault. The words of her father, who said he would rather have a dead daughter than a daughter who shamed his family, played over and over again in her head. She felt the only way out at this point was suicide. Oprah later said that if the internet had existed in those times, she likely wouldn't be here today because the only reason she didn't kill herself was because she wasn't sure how to do it. Before she went through with it, she went into premature labor. Her son, who she later named Kanan, died shortly after birth. After her son died, Oprah approached her life with a renewed focus. She made a decision to turn her life around and, in her words, course correct. In high school, she began working at a Nashville radio station and earned a full scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she studied communications. One day, she was called out of class by a CBS affiliate who had heard her on the radio. They offered her a job as a news anchor on a Nashville station. At the age of 19, she became the youngest news anchor in the U.S. and was also the first African-American female news anchor nationwide. But the struggles didn't end there. At the age of 22, she moved to Baltimore to co-anchor the 6 o'clock news on a local station. But her co-anchor was very vocal about not liking her, and the producers felt she was too emotional in her reporting. One of the producers actually told her she was unfit for television news. She was fired 7 months after accepting the job, but she didn't let this discourage her. She remembers that every time she felt discriminated against, marginalized, or put down, she always told herself, "It won't be long." The win. After taking a couple of low-profile media jobs, Oprah moved to Chicago in 1984 to take over a morning talk show with very poor ratings. Despite the show being unpopular, it was a great opportunity for her as she was offered a salary of $225,000 a year, which was more money than she ever thought she would make. Within months, Oprah transformed the show, and it became the highest-rated talk show in Chicago. She found that vulnerability was her greatest power, even though she had been criticized for this in her previous jobs. The movie critic Roger Ebert encouraged her to sign a syndication deal to make the show national, and this led to the creation of The Oprah Winfrey Show, which debuted in September 1986. Very quickly, the show became the #1 daytime talk show in the U.S., and the show would experience unprecedented success in its 25-year run. Oprah quickly became a millionaire at the age of 32 after negotiating ownership rights to the program and starting her own production company. In the history of the show, she conducted over 37,000 interviews over the course of 4,400 episodes. Build up. Less than 10 years after starting the show, her net worth was $340 million, and she was the only African American included on the Forbes 400 list. By the year 2000, her net worth topped $800 million, making her the richest African American of the 20th century. In 2006, she was recognized as the highest-paid television entertainer in the U.S., with a yearly income of $260 million, which was more than 5 times the earnings of the second highest-paid entertainer, Simon Cowell. Following the success of her show, Oprah ventured out into other areas. She launched O, the Oprah magazine, in 2000, which has brought in more than $1 billion in consumer revenue. She also wrote several best-selling books and acted in some notable films including The Color Purple, The Butler, and Selma. In 2011, she launched the Oprah Winfrey Network, a cable network that initially struggled and then thrived. Today, she still owns about 25% of the network, a stake that is valued around $75 million. She also owns a 10% stake in Weight Watchers, valued at $365 million, and recently entered into a very lucrative development deal with Apple. Today, her Harpo Production company is worth an estimated $150 million. At the age of 49, she was listed for the first time on Forbes' list of the world's billionaires, becoming the world's first Black female billionaire. Today, her net worth is about $3 billion, and she's recognized as the richest self-made woman in America. The riches. So, how does Oprah spend all that money? Well, in addition to the millions she's given away through philanthropy, she has plenty left over to splurge on herself. She owns a number of properties, including a $95 million estate in Montecito, California, a $14 million ski house in Colorado, a $25 million miniature pony farm in California, a massive farm in Hawaii, and another $1 million Tennessee mansion. She travels in a $42 million custom-built Global Express XRS private jet. She likes to spoil others, too. For example, she took 100 of her employees on a Mediterranean cruise in 2009 at a cost of $800,000. She's also left her dogs $30 million in her will to ensure they are well taken care of after she's gone. But that's not all. In a recent interview, Oprah said she thought grocery store avocados were too expensive, so she bought her own avocado orchard. Yeah, it's safe to say she's living the good life, and her story is one we can all learn from. The lesson. Oprah's Rags to Riches story shows us that no matter what you go through and what obstacles are placed in your path, you can be successful as long as you are intentional and focused. The best revenge is a life well lived, so use all the doubts and criticisms of others as fuel to push you forward on your path to greatness. For further guidance from Oprah on how to achieve your deepest vision, check out her latest book, The Path Made Clear: Discovering Your Life's Direction and Purpose. In this incredibly valuable book, Oprah offers insights from lessons she's learned through her own life and experiences that will help you create a life that is not only successful, but significant. And if you want to hear this powerful message straight from Oprah's mouth while also saving about $18, go to Alux.com/freebook and sign up so you can get the audiobook version for free, thanks to our partnership with Audible. The quote. While researching this story, we came across this incredible quote from Oprah we'd like to share. It goes like this. The great, courageous act we all must do is to have the courage to step out of our history and past so that we can live our dreams. So, Aluxers, just remember that no matter what your background is or what challenges and struggles you've faced in the past, you can overcome anything if you set your sights on the prize and continue on the path toward living your dreams. Question. Now that we're winding down to the end of this story, we'd like to know, how rich would you have to be before you would feel comfortable kicking back, retiring, and enjoying the fruits of your labor? Or do you see yourself never fully retiring? Let us know what you think in the comments. And of course, for sticking with us until the end, you get a bonus. Here it is. 2 of Oprah's half-siblings have unfortunately died tragic deaths. Her half-brother Jeffrey died of AIDS in 1989, and her half-sister Patricia died in 2003 due to a cocaine addiction. She also has another half-sister named Patricia, who was given up for adoption. Oprah did not even know she existed until 2010. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question on our website, Alux.com. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.